I'm making delicious chicken pot pies. This is one of my family favorites. I can definitely share that with you. So the first thing I need to do is, I've got my Whirlpool induction hob here, and I just get that on. And the beauty of working with the induction hob here is it heats so fast, making it very efficient for somebody like me who's always short on time. Yes, it's hot. In goes the oil. It's a little bit of rapeseed oil. That's a little bit. And the next thing then are some leeks. You could use onions if you wanted to, or spring onions. I like the flavour of leeks. And what's wonderful about this recipe is it's got a great combination of quite a few vegetables. Look how quickly this is heating up. The leeks are steaming already. So the trick in cooking these is to get a nice bit of heat into the leeks or onions first, and then you turn the heat really low and you leave it to slow cook for about 4 minutes. Now, the steam is building up, so let's turn it down. Right down to the lowest. There we are. Now I'll leave that for about 4 minutes and then I'll add the rest of my vegetables. So the leeks are beautifully softened now, and it's time for the rest of the ingredients. I'm going to put in some carrots. Brings a lovely colour to it, and everybody likes carrots. And if you wanted to, you could put in some smoked bacon at this point and fry it off with it, you know, to give it an extra bit of a zing. Depending, it's totally down to personal flavour. Some chorizo would be gorgeous in here. Now, I want to get my heat back up again. There we are. And just cook off and a little bit of salt can go in at this point, and a little bit of pepper. And I'm going to put in some thyme. Again, any flavour you want goes with this. Look at the colour. Now, and also I have some chicken here. Now, I par-cooked this chicken. If you had some chicken left from your Sunday roast, you could most certainly put that in. It's a great way of using up the veggies and that you have in the cupboard at home, and also whatever meat you have. There we go. Get the heat down now. And I'm going to put in a little bit of liquid just to speed up the cooking of the carrots. And the wonderful thing about using the induction hob, the Whirlpool induction hob, is that the temperature drops and increases so quickly, and as soon as you lift the pot off, the temperature turns off, so there's no wastage of electricity, which is very important. There. So we get another pan on, and for every bechamel, of course, you start with some butter. So we pop that in, let that melt in. So in goes the flour, give it a little stir. And then just cook off the flour. So always when you're making a roux, it's really important that that flour gets cooked off. I'm going to move now to a spatula. Spatula's handier just at this point, just for the base of the saucepan. And I like to keep that flour moving because it does burn quite quickly. So this is a classic roux. And next is the milk. So I'm going to start with a little bit of milk. Back to my whisk, and just whisk in my flour and butter mix. And another little bit of milk. Now a little bit of stock goes in. You can, if you're really pushing the boat out, put cream in at this point. But I like the mixture of stock with the milk. I think it's a lighter dish for me. So I'm going to leave that just to cook off, maybe a minute, that's all. And then I'll mix my bechamel with my veggies and chicken, and then I just put some mashed potato on it and straight into my Whirlpool 6-cent oven. So we're ready to go now. We have our lovely bechamel sauce, and I have a little bit of mustard as well, so I'm just going to mix that in just to give it a little kick. Beautiful. Look at that. So that's going over our chicken and veg mix. Okay, next thing I have is I'm going to put mashed potato on the top. And again, anything goes here. Puff pastry would be delicious on it. It's whatever you have to hand and whatever's easiest for you to make a really tasty family meal. And we'll just fill our little pots. Now I've got a nice bit of sauce on it. I always think it's important to have it nice and moist because in the cooking process, some of the sauce will cook into the mash and you don't want your filling to be too dry. So everything is more or less cooked here. So I'd say about 15 minutes in the oven. And I already have my Whirlpool 6 cents oven preheating. Have it at about 180 degrees on a fan, on a forced air. So that will make it really lovely and hot so that my potato will brown beautifully. And then over to our mash. And we have everything ready to go. This is quite handy, putting the piping bag in a jug. It just makes it much easier to fill. And this is where you need the steady hand, and away we go. It does make the difference doing the little bit of piping. I think that looks good. So it's straight into our oven here. And today I only have my pot pies in there, but you know, the beauty of that oven there is that you can have 3 different layers, different ingredients cooking away. You can have your chocolate cake on one and the fish on the next layer, and there's absolutely no transfer of flavours, which suits me perfectly. So we'll look at that again in about 15 minutes. Something smells delicious, and there they are. Absolutely perfect. So these are my family favourite, my chicken pot pies. So tasty, so Moorish, so easy.